Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Now as you know, US Department of State has paused the visa issuance, green cards in specifically, for 75 countries because of the additional processing that they are going to do in regards to public charge. Now I made a special video about it a couple of days back, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the possible spillovers of the family-based visas, unused visas, because of this travel ban. Now you may have watched a lot of other videos from other channels giving out the number. What I'm going to do is take a step further in actually showing you how to determine that number, how many visa spillovers are going to happen. And I'm also going to give you from my perspective what are those unknown factors that are going to dramatically change these spillover numbers one way or the other. In addition, I'm also going to cover two important questions that I have been consistently getting while talking to people. So a lot of important content, guys. Watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now check out the links in the description because those are affiliate links, and if you find anything interesting, you might also help the channel. And don't forget to hit that like button because that will help the YouTube algorithm to spread this video to people who may want to see this. It only takes a moment, absolutely free, and it really helps me. And yeah, watch out for the storm that is coming this weekend across the United States. There are very few places that are going to be spared. It's most of the Midwest, Southeast, and South Central East. I don't know what's going to happen here in Boston where I live. Things change by the days. It all depends on which way the wind wants to change its direction, whether we'll get hit or not. So let's see. Stay warm in the meantime. As you know, the US Department of State has paused immigration visa processing for nationals of 75 countries officially, starting on January 21st, 2026. So now this was specifically for the green card processing at the consulates for the nationals of these 75 countries. So that is important to note. This does not impact non-immigrant visas. Now, why are they doing this? This is because of the extra vetting they want to do. Now, really, it is important to note that this is specifically for public charge. They want to make sure that people who are coming into the country don't become a burden on the taxpayers. So that's their logic. And then the affected countries include a lot of high population countries such as Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Brazil, Egypt, Iran, Nigeria, Russia, and so on. Now, obviously, when I made that video, I got a lot of questions in regards to will there be spillover caps. Now, remember, most of the family-based petitions are adjudicated at the consulates abroad because these are your brothers, sisters, immediate family members, and so on. Now, although immediate family members do not have a visa quota, so there is no question about unused visa numbers in those categories. But categories such as F1, F2A, F2B, F3, F4, all of these categories have a cap, or they have certain number of visa limits, which totals to 226,000 visa numbers for the entire year. If any of those visa numbers are unused, by the end of the year, by the end of September 30th, those visa numbers become available for the following fiscal year for the employment-based section. And this is what the number that we are talking about. What could be the spillover number as a result of this immigration pause for these 75 countries? Let's look at that. So as you know, USCIS has been publishing the data month over month for the last several years. So if you go into the pending inventory data on the Department of State website, you will see these visa statistics. And here you will see the monthly immigrant and non-immigrant visa issuance data. Now what you want to look at, because the travel ban is only impacted to the immigrant visa numbers, you want to check this link, monthly immigrant visa issuance. And what this link will tell you is since 2017, so going like 8 or 9 years back, you will see every month data in here. So what I did was I took the data from the fiscal year 2025. So the latest month that they have published is May of 2025. So we don't have any data after May of 2025. So what I had to do is go back from May for about a year. So I did from May 2025 going back to June 2024. So 12 full months of the visa data. And if you look at this data, how it looks like is this. So they give you the immigrant visa issuance by foreign state of chargeability or by place of birth. So place of birth is important because US immigration only goes by place of birth. It doesn't matter which nationality you have or passport you have. It depends on what country you were born in. That's the visa number, or that's the quota that you are going to use for your immigrant visa. So if you see here, they have the foreign state of chargeability or the place of birth and visa class and the issuance of visas by every month. So I got this data for the last 6 months. So if you look at this, I have almost about 20,000 lines in here. So that was a lot of work. To get all these data into one spreadsheet, but I was able to do that. And then I did a pivot on it to kind of get how many number of visas that we are going to see for each country for that particular year. Now on this pivot, what it tells me, so I put some filters on the month, years, and the visa class, and then on the left hand side I have the countries, and I have selected only those 75 countries. As you can see, 75 countries are selected. So for the full year, about 85,978 visas were issued in the data that we have for one full year. Now remember, at the consulate, there are all kinds of visas, immigrant visas that are given out. It's not just family based, it's also employment based. There is also diversity visa numbers, there are asylums and those sort of visas that are also given out at the consulate. So you want to make sure that you exclude that data from this total number. Also, another thing to remember is immediate relatives of US citizens who are sponsored for a green card, they don't have any cap. So there are unlimited numbers. So there is no question about those spillovers. So you have to exclude those as well. Then I had to remove the refugees, diversity visa numbers, immediate family members, spousal visa numbers, and those sort of things from this data. So let's say I removed all of that, and let's also include October through January data. The reason I had to do that is because this ban came into effect on 21st of January, the visa issuance was still taking place up until that day, since October 1st. So October, November, December, and January, let's exclude those numbers. So October is this, November, December, and January, let's say. So if I do that, let's see how many numbers are left. So it comes to about 59,672 visa numbers will be spilled over if none of those visa numbers are used for the rest of the year. So it means that 59,672 visa numbers are likely to be wasted if none of those visa numbers are going to be used for the rest of the year. Now we are making an assumption here is that visa issuance pause is going to remain into effect for the remainder of the fiscal year, which is until September of 30th. So if that happens, the maximum number we can see is 59,672. So that is more or less what is the spillover that you are looking at in ideal situation. Now I want to also make some caveats here. Now we have to also consider how the spillover works. Now, first kind of spillover is family to employment based spillovers. So let's talk about it for a moment. So say for instance, any family based visa category that has an annual cap limit, including the per country cap of 7%, any unused visa numbers from that category spill over to the employment based visa at the end of the year, at the end of September 30th of that year. So the visa numbers become available for the next fiscal year. Now, before that, you also have to consider, so 59,000 is that number, that's what I was talking about. Now we have to also consider that during the course of the year, if any particular country does not, they spill over into the lateral category. So F1 visas from a certain country will spill over into the lateral to all chargeability for the rest of the world, or any other country that is backlogged, such as India, China, Mexico, or Philippines. Those are the backlog countries in FB category as well. So those lateral spillovers will also happen. So those numbers will need to be deducted from this 59,000 visas. So any spillover visa numbers on a monthly or quarterly basis, whichever way the Department of State allocates them, they will need to be first used up by the backlog countries within the family based section. So this 59,000 number will probably drop. Now, this kind of a lateral spillover during the year, which is called intra-category spillover, that is what I wanted to point out in this video. So even if there is a rough estimate that 59,000 visa numbers will be available as spillovers by the end of the year, given if this pause in the immigration stays until the end of the year, there is still this lateral spillover that will use up some of these 59,000 visa numbers. So the actual spillover numbers will be less than 59,000. So let's see month over month if this travel pause or if this immigration pause for the 75 countries stays, and if these lateral spillovers within the family category impact this 59,000. Let's assume for now that 59,000 is the number. However, there are a lot of factors that is going to impact these numbers. So hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions or comments or any concerns regarding the analysis that I provided, how we arrived at this 59,000 number for spillovers. Because this had been a question that has been dominating my channel and also in the chats that I have been doing with the people. Let me know what you think about this. By the way, I attended a silence retreat program last weekend. It was awesome. It gave me time to relax my mind, reflect on my thoughts, and really calm me down. So if I haven't done so, I highly recommend doing a silence retreat where you are not supposed to talk even a single word throughout that session, which is amazing. Let alone look at your phone or emails or chats and so on.
And that brings me to the sponsor of today's video. Have you ever done the Google search of your own name? Look what I have found when I did mine. Here's what comes up. While some of this information is relevant, the other makes me uncomfortable that my information is exposed for a sale like this. Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, or anybody else who may want to target you. Your full name, email address, home address, your relatives' names, health information, it's all out there. That's why I have been using Aura, sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out request for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers who could use this information to help them access my social media accounts, bank accounts, or other sensitive information. Aura does so much more to protect my information and my family's information from online threats I can't see. I get other features like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. It's really easy to set up, and best of all, I get everything for one affordable price. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like locking the front door but leaving your back door wide open. Aura is always on, doing the hard work of keeping me safe so I can focus on other tasks with peace of mind. I value my privacy and I value yours. You can go to my link which is on the screen and in the description and start your free 2 weeks trial. So protect your information, your family, and have a peace of mind. That's Aura.
Now another topic that keeps coming up is travel. If you are on a non-immigrant visa and if you have to travel, I have made multiple videos on what are the limitations what are the things that you have to consider personally before traveling. And those things are whether you have a visa stamp on your passport already. If you don't have it, and if you are planning to go and stamp it outside of the United States in any other country, then pause and think about it, because your appointments may get delayed. You will get 221 Gs, which is administrative processing, and your entry back into the United States could be delayed. That is one thing. Second thing is there are visa revocations, prudential visa revocations that are happening. And this is not entirely randomly, because they are actively seeking out more information on the non-immigrants if they have come across any law enforcement encounters such as arrest, felonies, reckless driving, domestic violence, DUI, overstay of the visa, misuse of your visa, any fraud, any terrorism, any anti-national threats. Those are all the things that are going to count against you, and those are the things that they are looking at before revoking your visa. So if you have any of those things in your background, then I recommend do not travel. But if you don't have any of these things, and if you are still concerned, talk to an immigration lawyer or give me a call and I will let you know if it's safe to travel or not. There are thousands and thousands of people who are traveling on a daily basis, and I know for a fact that they are not having any problem coming back into the United States because they do not have any of these things that I mentioned in their background. So if you don't have any of these things in your background, and if you have a stamped visa, there is no problem traveling, in my opinion. Now, ultimate decision is yours, and if you need any help, seek an immigration lawyer and their advice. Also, another thing that is very common right now is RA fees, not just on extensions and amendments of H and F1 and dependent visas, but also in the immigrant visa categories such as green cards. I'm seeing RA fees in EB1A a lot, EB5 as well, and also on EB2 and EB3. Reach out to me if you have any particular scenario where I could be able to provide my perspective. If you are comfortable, go to a lawyer and get some help. Find a link in the description to set up a Calendly call with me for 30 minutes. I am also doing a couple of masterclass, so all those links are in the description. One particularly that is coming up right now on 25th, this coming Sunday, is for EB1A masterclass. So if you haven't signed up for it, check out that link in the description as well and sign up for it. If you like the content of this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.